Welcome to Uncharted. It is Jayda Onyse with Mall Sounds. What's up?
So thanks for having me.
Of course, thanks for coming.
Okay. Yeah.
If you can have a second to introduce yourself, where your name, you're from.
Yeah. So I'm Mall Sounds. I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised. Happy to be here. Musician, producer, video artist. Yeah.
Okay, producer. Yeah. I saw you recently had a Juneteenth performance.
I did, yeah. It was on the Lower East Side by Astor Place. They have the stage set up where the Cube usually is. And yeah, I performed there. My brother performed with me. He plays violin, so we did kind of like a joint set.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was my first show since like February 2020. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How does it feel like now that Juneteenth is an official holiday? Mm-hmm. How does it feel to like have that honor? Like, I feel like it's such a big thing.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's cool. It was cool to have that gathering of energy, you know what I mean? And for that to be the first show, because that's like really why I like doing music, you know what I mean? To perform it and to connect with people. And so like any reason to do that, it's great.
That's what's up. That's good. So I'm sure the audience wants to know who Mall Sounds is, like what kind of music he makes, like what's going through Mall's mind when he's making his music.
Yeah, that's a great question. What type of music? I really like to experiment, you know what I mean? So I used to rap a lot, but like the music I make now is not so much rap as much as it is maybe a little bit more R&B or indie or whatever. I just try to find grooves, you know what I mean? Like I try to clear my head when I'm in the studio. I'm like, you can't see any of my equipment because, the camera's facing me.
Yeah.
I'm like in my home studio right now. It's like pretty chill. I play some instruments like bass and guitar a little bit. And I just don't think about genre. I just think about like how I want to make people move or like where I want people to listen to my music. So a lot of times a lot of times I get people talking about like, oh, it sounds like you could drive to this, you know what I mean? Or like late nights vibes, things like that. I kind of think about that. That's kind of where I work backwards from.
So you're more of a vibe type of person? Yeah, I
would say so, yeah. And then the genre is just whatever instruments I use,
Is there like an artist that you kind of look up to, or you kind of not copy, but kind of compliment, like you can compare your music to them?
There's a lot of artists I look up to. I love like Blood Orange, Frank Ocean, Tyler the Creator, like people like that, those are like my right, I mean, like it's like obvious, like who doesn't like Frank Ocean at this point, but
I love him.
I just enjoy how they kind of just make music that's so true to them and they just do what they want, and that's like the new age of artistry, right? In music, it's just do what you want. Like,
I respect an artist who kind of like doesn't care, like doesn't fit within the rules of whatever genre that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So like, I respect that. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So the music industry is very, very competitive, right?
Yeah.
And so some may say you have to be some sort of crazy to even go into this.
Yeah.
So what was that moment for you that you was like, I have to do this. Like, I love doing this. This is what I want.
Oh, that's a good question. Wow. So I've basically been doing this for a while now. I've been making music for a long time, like since high school. And I guess I've always just been kind of like crazy like that because before I wanted to do music, I wanted to be an author. And that's a similar, I don't know, like people, it's not as much like hype associated with author. But like it's hard to be an author, you know what I mean? Like it's a similar type of like, you want to be a famous writer.
It's an even more crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like it's just been kind of like for so much of my life, I've kind of just wanted to do art. I didn't really even think about how crazy it was until I was almost in too deep. You know what I mean? And now I'm in too deep. It's like, because once you find people who connect with your music, it's almost like, well, now it's like, why would I can't stop. Yeah, you literally just can't. And so it's just a matter of like, continuing to improve on your craft and put music out, So I don't know if there's a time that I decided, but definitely when I became comfortable with performing a couple years ago and I started feeling the crowds and just started to enjoy that piece of it, because I didn't always enjoy performing. But when I started to enjoy it, I was like, okay, like I can do this, you know.
Is there like an anecdote? Is there like a story? We want like
like
juice.
Like yeah, there was this show I did in school, like when I was at college, and none of the music I have out. It might have been maybe one of my songs. My first single I dropped, Deli Nights. I think I performed that at the show along with a bunch of other old music. I want to say it was around Halloween. No, it was in the spring. It was actually in the spring. Yes, it was the spring of my sophomore year, and I just remember like performing the music. And it's gonna sound like mad, like corny probably, but I was just performing this song, and people, my friends, and just the people who came through, they were just like singing the lyrics along with me, and that like it never happened before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's because it was a super simple, you know, it was like a song I was just premiering. It was a very like simple hook, you know, and that was just the first time I was doing it, and just like feeling that energy, I was like, oh, whoa, like I see why people do this shit.
Yeah.
You know, like I see the appeal. And I was very introverted. I mean, I still am super introverted, but I was extremely shy at it. So like there were times where I would never even consider performing. Like I would see people perform and be like, yeah, that'll never be me. Like I'm just not that type of person. Yeah, and then that sort of began to change around that time, you know?
Yeah, that's good. So would you say like that's your motivation?
What, like the performing aspect?
Yeah, like, you know, the audience, people listening to you. What is your motivation?
Yeah, like just the feeling of connection. Like we're such an alienated society in so many different ways, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's definitely a big motivation. Kind of like I feel like I'm happiest when people feel like they've just gained something on a personal level, like from the music, whether it's like an experience or just a catchy song, you know what I mean? But just something that kind of like shows that they like cared about it enough to do something, you know what I mean? Like kind of like it moved them. I think that that's just because, you know, we were exposed to so many things every day. We're kind of desensitized, short attention spans, like all these things that kind of go away from just resonance, you know what I mean? Like just deep resonance. And so when we can create that, that's like my motivation. Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I literally just thought about that as you asked the question. I don't think I've ever thought about it that clearly before.
Wow.
Yeah.
The more you know, I guess.
Yeah.
So what do you want people to know about Mal Sounds? Like, what do you want people to know about you as an artist?
Mm-hmm. I feel like people should know that like I'm not really here to play like these industry games. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I've seen enough. And it's kind of like,
what industry games? What do you mean by industry games?
Like any notion of a path or a set of things I need to do to like pop off, or any of those rules that we make up for ourselves that are really just like things I feel like we make up to kind of make ourselves feel like we have a path towards getting, you know what I mean? Like none of those rules really apply.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think, for me or anybody else, but like I don't control other people, you know? So I think,
of course.
Like, yeah.
Would you be
with me, it's just the music and the things I make, and they're gonna try to hopefully blow your mind. You know what I mean? Like
yes. You mentioned path, and so it kind of just like in my head. Would you be offended if one of your songs was only popularized because of TikTok? Because I know a lot of artists do get mad at that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be offended by it. Like, you know, like I was like talking to this, you know, one of the guys at my distribution place, and they were like, yeah, you got to start like making TikToks. And I was like, yeah, like I know, but I don't want to, but I know you're probably right. Like, so it's just this is the current state of the game. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. There are a lot of people on TikTok. It's a cool app. Like I don't really use it as much, mostly just because of time. Like it takes up a lot of time. I wouldn't be offended though, because at the end of the day, it's like people have to find out about you how they find out about you.
Right.
People probably hated Spotify and streaming when it first started. People probably thought CDs were whack when they were used to records. Right. You know what I mean? People thought records were whack at some point when they were used to whatever was before that. So, you know.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, TikTok is that app though.
Yeah, exactly.
So you might want to, I don't know.
It is. And I keep seeing it. Like, I'm like, damn, it really is. And
it is that app.
And I feel like it also lets you be a little bit more authentic too, which I kind of enjoy. Because people are just on there doing whatever. Like, it's not like people are all conforming to one thing, at least as far as I can tell. Like, there's a niche for so many weird things, which is
cool. I feel you. Yeah, I feel you. So I have a personal favorite of yours, but I would like to know what your personal favorite of yours and why.
Yeah, of the songs I've released so far.
Yeah.
Probably, it's a tough question. I feel like my two favorites are like Right Now and Freaks and Wild Things.
Oh, snap. Mine are Right Now and Tiny Lies.
Tiny Lies, interesting. Okay, word. Cool. I think I'll choose Right Now because I did all the production on Right Now too. So just like a little ego thing. Like I'm like, yeah, that song was 100% or like 80% me. Like I didn't engineer it or master it, but I like produced it all and recorded it. So I would say that one. Yeah.
For Right Now, what was the inspiration for the lyrics? Do they mean something to you? Is there a story?
Yeah. Oh my God, there is a story. So basically, the story is like so ridiculous, but I'm so glad I can have it. I was like, I got trapped in Spain like over quarantine. So like, yeah, like
okay.
Yeah, like I was working like 2020, like at the beginning of last year, right? You know, I just wanted to go to Spain because I have family out there. I have a grandma in Valencia. And so I'd been like grinding, I graduated. So I was just on my grind, like trying to do music. I was tired. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go on vacation. Like I have a free place to stay. I got a cheap ticket and I flew out there in February. And so I was there just chilling for a couple weeks. And of course, like at the beginning of March, like when I was there for a week, that's when all the COVID stuff started happening. And even then people still weren't taking it seriously. But then I feel like over like the course of 2 days, like the whole world realized how serious it was.
Yes.
And everything shut down and I was like, oh, whoa. And like all my flight got canceled. All the flights got canceled for like a couple weeks. And then all the prices jacked way up. So I ended up just staying there from February until July of 2020.
Wow.
Yeah. And so while I was there, I had like a little, I wouldn't say we were like together, but like a friend, a close, little thing happening, right? And it was like long distance. So the song is literally just about that, like, being just trapped away from like, the girl you want to be with due to COVID, due to quarantine, Yeah.
Okay.
Just that and like freestyling. Yeah.
Got you. Something random. Do you speak Spanish?
No, like not as well as I should for having stayed in Spain.
I asked because I'm in the same boat. Yeah. Got you. Do you have a dream collab?
Dream collab. Ooh.
Who would that be?
It's like I have to like get my nerves together. I feel like because you can't be in the studio. Like if you're collaborating, I feel like you have to be in on the music. You can't be like starstruck. I feel like I would like to do a song with Toro y Moi. Do you know him?
I don't actually.
Oh, word. Toro y Moi. It's like bull. It's like bull in Spanish. Y moi in French, whatever. It's like a weird name, but he's cool. He's one of my inspirations. I probably should have mentioned him earlier, but like he's just one of those people who's worked on so many different types of things. I would love to just get a beat from him or like work together on something because I feel like he's down to do something like. He's always trying new sounds, you know what I mean? So I feel like we just linked up and I wouldn't feel any pressure to like make a Toro song and he wouldn't feel any pressure to make like a Mal song. It just
right.
Does
he make similar music as like your type of music or?
Yeah, he's like all over the place. He has a bunch of different albums at this point. So like some of his stuff is more hip hop, trap-esque adjacent. Some of his stuff is more EDM. Some of his stuff is just like kind of weird.
Oh, wow.
Indie. I don't even know how to describe this guy, but he was kind of big in the sort of like chill wave, like lo-fi era, like at the beginning of that type
I remember the lo-fi era.
Yeah.
I definitely partook in that one.
Yeah.
So we're going to start wrapping up, but I would like to do a quick little game quick with you. And it is called Finish That Lyric. It's exactly what you think it is, except... Can you guess? It's going to be your own lyrics.
My lyrics. Okay,
wow. It's going to be your own lyrics.
Cool.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah. Dude, I better get all these right. Like.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. We're going to do an easy one first.
Yeah. For sure.
I think I need to pipe down. I
need you right now.
Right? Yeah. That's from Right Now.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. We have round 2. We need this pretty bleak city in the winters when it's chilly.
Pretty bleak lilies floating through the city.
Yes. Yeah. And what song is that?
Freaks and Wild Things.
Yes, Freaks and Wild Things. Okay, last one from, I don't want to spoil nothing, but I point all my triggers to the sky. I'm just trying to make it out alive. Everything I know of has a price.
Wait, is that it, bro? Wait.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I put all my triggers to the sky. I'm trying to make it out alive. Bro, everything I know of has a price is the second hook. But what's the first hook? Bro, I'm really blanking. See, this is how you know I don't listen to my music once I drop it. I really don't. Like, I seriously, like, I'm just trying to make it out alive. How much? Bro, you gotta help me out. That shit is just blanking. I seriously don't.
I
was always on a different time. Wow, I should know that because I really was always on a different time.
This is my favorite song.
That's crazy about me. Yeah, wow. Yo, you gotta understand. Like, unless I'm preparing for a show, like, and like rehearsing, I literally do not listen to music once I drop it. And I didn't perform right now. I mean, I didn't perform Tiny Lies at the last show, so I have not listened to it probably since February when I dropped it.
Since you made it?
Yeah. Like, since I dropped it, you know?
Listening to your own music?
Not really, but it's just I listen to it so much before I drop it, I think, that I kind of get sick of it once it's out, you know?
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm right now I'm listening to like my unreleased shit, not like my unreleased, like, you know.
You're good.
Word, not like the stuff that's out, you know.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, well, that's the end of the interview. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys can listen to Mall Sounds on all platforms?
Yes, all platforms.
All platforms, including SoundCloud?
Mm-hmm.
And even SoundCloud. Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you. And you can catch this episode July 3rd at 2 p.m.
Fire. I'll be, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yeah.